Namaste and hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you may be and whenever you may be watching this. Today we begin with a little anecdote about a Sufi mystic saint, very great Sufi mystic saint called Rabia Basri. And Rabia Basri is somebody who is considered to be in the order of hierarchy in Sufism. The highest is a Kalandar, and she is known as Ded Kalandari, which means she is not just a Kalandar once, but she is a Kalandar 1.5 times, which not even any of the males are. They have not been given that khitab, she has been given that khitab. So, more power to women, the divine feminine. So, this is a little story about her. And so Rabia Basri became enlightened, and she had this, she would go around telling people, which was in those days very shocking. She would go around saying that, I have attained the ultimate. I am God, you know. So the thing was that most people and a lot of the Sufis do go around saying this, have gone around saying this, because when you're in that state and you achieve that oneness where you can see that there is no other, there's no other but the divine. You can see the divine in every molecule of life around you, in everything that you see. I guess it must be just coming out of their mouth, that you feel that oneness and you're just proclaiming it to be the truth, which is what it is, Al Haq. But common man cannot understand these things, they would think of it as blasphemy. How can you call yourself God? What right do you have to say that? So a lot of times they would categorize these people and say कि ये तो पागल है, they're crazy, these people. So like I said once in one of my videos to you, that somebody once called me pagal, and I said, I'm very happily pagal, happy to be pagal, because जो जिसने गल को पा लिया, the word of God, the name of God, वो पागल है, so be it, I am pagal. So she, hello, no comparison please. I am narrating a story and I just went from one thing to another. These are people who we don't even know what state of purity that they had reached in their timelines. I mean, we cannot even imagine, one cannot even, it's like the ultimate to ever get to a place and a stage like that. I do pray, and it is each one's divine birthright to reach there. So inshallah we all will, if we keep working, on ourselves. So coming back to the story, so she would walk through the marketplace every day proclaiming that I have achieved, the ultimate. And this was her daily habit, and every day when she would walk through the marketplace, she used to see this another Sufi, his name was Hassan, and she would see Hassan sitting outside the door of the mosque, and he would start saying, let me in, God, let me in, and she would see him and she would walk past. So this was a daily practice. One day when she was walking through the marketplace again, proclaiming that, I am the divine and I am one with God, she passes a mosque and she sees Hassan sitting outside, and now today she sees Hassan, he is crying, he is sobbing and he is banging on the door of the mosque and he's saying, "Open the door, God, open the door, let me in." And he's really, really crying a lot. So when she saw this, she was very moved, and she goes up to him, she goes up to him and she holds him by his shoulders and she shakes him and she says, "Why are you crying? You are God. You are God. God is not in there. God is inside you. You are God. You are already God." And as she's saying this to him, obviously a being of such power and such radiance, he just stopped and he looked into her eyes, and there he got the realization that yes, what she is saying is true. I do not need to go and search for God behind those doors, because God is right here. And then he looks at her and he says, "You know, you pass by every day from here, and you must have seen me every day knocking and, asking for the door to be opened. Why did you not tell me this before?" So she said, "Had I said this to you before on another day, maybe you would have gotten angry with me. Maybe you would have been irritated, you know. Maybe you would have just shrugged me off. But today, when I saw you crying so bitterly and banging on the door of the mosque, today was the day when I realized that you are ready. You are ready to hear, and you are ready to know the truth. That the divine already lives and resides within you, not in some mosque, not in some temple, not in some whatever. Which is not to say, excuse me, that that these places of worship are not powerful, potent places. Of course they are. I am just illustrating a story to you of how we need to see and seek the divine that lives within us. It is the need of the hour, which is why my attempt on a daily basis is emphasizing this to you, is emphasizing to you that you yourself are divine, that you yourself are the creator, that you have it in you to create the most amazing life for yourself, which is why you are here. You have all the tools that you need. You need not look further. The universe is always sending us some assistance or the other. See, it's the same thing, right? It goes back to yesterday's story about the little halwa boy. The ones who've been following my videos will know. So the little halwa boy was the only one in that story who, when he cried for his money, was genuine. And that is when the Sheikh Saab said, see, his cry was genuine, so Allah answered it, right? So the same thing happened with Hassan. Maybe on the other days it was just a, we get into this habit also, of just asking for something, and then sometimes your heart is not in it, but because you've been doing it, so you continue doing it. So perhaps that was what the situation was with Hassan, just saying things by rote, But today, the day that it was coming out of him like a flood, that need, that urge, that longing, that pining for the beloved, for the Almighty, that was the day she heard him, and that was the day he got enlightened, right? So that is what this is all about. You must have that in you. We must cultivate it in us. Always the need and the longing to be connected, more than anything else, and that need and longing to be connected can come forth in, like I've been telling you, it can come forth in many different ways. It can come forth in ways of, you baking something, you painting something, you doing something for somebody. But that thing of connection to the divine, you have to cultivate that. You have to cultivate it. It will not just happen, by itself. Everything has to be cultivated. Everything has to be started as a practice, and then it just becomes automatic, right? It's like driving a car. In the beginning, it's always difficult. Not that I know how to drive a car, but just telling you that, it's I mean, or I'll give you my example. Okay, so I was reading this one Sanskrit, it's a part, a prayer, and the first day I started, oh my god, it took me, I had to do a certain amount, so it took me like 7 hours, you know and this was in March. Exactly on the 13th of March I started. And today, when I have to read it, I had not even realized it, I realized it just maybe a week or 10 days ago, that when I was reading it, I said, oh my god, whoa, I am so swift and I am doing this so easily. I didn't even realize it. I mean, all those super tough tongue twister Sanskrit words, they're just flowing. I don't have to think twice, right? Why? Because I've been doing it more than a month now, correct? So it happens very easily then, you know. So anything at all, like I've been telling you, look at yourself in the mirror, start smiling, say I love you, keep your hand on your heart, connect, take deep breaths, connect with the divine, know that you are loved, know that you are protected, know that you are safe, right? So all these things, the more that we do them, the better it is for us, because the more it becomes, we become one with it, we become one with that practice. Then it's not a practice, then it's just a flow of something that you do, of something that just happens in your life, you know. So yes, so coming back to us, the moral of the day, and all, as always, is please, please, please always remember that this time is a time that is very, very momentous upon this planet. You have chosen to be here at this time. You have chosen to be here when the planet is awakening, when the planet is going through this shift, in her own awakening. And we are all awakening along with her, So feel the power and the potency of these times. Understand why you are where you are, in the situation that you are in. Understand it, and really, really use this time. Sit and visualize what you want to create, what kind of a life do you want once this is over, because life is not going to be the same, it's not going to be the same. There are going to be many, many changes in everyone's lives. We're all rethinking, right? We're all rethinking, we're all re-strategizing, So do all of that, and at the same time, keep yourself open to the infinite wisdom of the universe. Keep yourself open to always doing what it is that is going to make your heart feel light, Just before this, I was speaking with somebody, and they were talking about a very tough decision that they are wanting to make for their life. A very tough decision, something that they've been with for years, and wanting to shift out of that. I just said one thing, I said you must wait for the divine to answer you from your own heart. And when you will get that answer, when it is the right thing for you, you will feel expansion. Your heart will expand, it will feel light. Because whenever we take a decision or we do something that is going against the grain of the truth of who we are, you feel heavy, you feel like you're burdened, and that's never the right decision for you. The right decision is always something that's going to make you feel light, it's going to make you feel at ease, it's going to make you feel thoroughly comfortable. Even if it means that you'll be stepping on, don't want to say someone's toes, but even if it means that maybe people around you will not understand what it is that is drawing you to do this, but it is the inner one, and you must listen to the inner one's calling, because there is no other calling to hear but that. That is what you have taken birth for. You have been born into these times to know who you are, to empower yourself. Each one of us is here only for one another. We are here first to empower ourselves, like I keep telling you, fulfill yourself, then the overflow just automatically goes out there to everybody. So just use this time, focus on yourself, focus on your prayers, focus on your connection with the divine, whatever the God of your choosing, whoever that may be, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Finally, in the end, it is all energy. It is all one, and we are here to propagate that oneness. We are here to propagate unity consciousness, instead of a mass panic and mass fear consciousness. We are now wanting to create unity, love consciousness within each and every heart. And the more every heart opens to this, the more beautiful a planet it is that we are going to be living on. I'm smiling because I am getting such wonderful energy that is coming into my being, which is just wanting to send you all so much love. It is the most divine, powerful Mother, Father energies coming in, wrapping you up, literally. Each and every one who is going to listen to this, watch this, now, in the future, multiple times, it is always going to be there for you. So much love. There is so much love for us. Feel it, shut your eyes and experience this. Do also send me your comments and your whatever your feedback is on this particular moment, and on whatever else it is. Like I have said before also, if you have queries, if you have other things which you would like to share with me, please do. I would love to hear from you, always. And I am now a little zapped with the energy myself, so I am wishing you a very, very beautiful, sunny, filled with the divine light of our sun, the great central sun, and all of creation everywhere. May you have the most amazing, blissful, relaxing, chilled out, magical day. Loads of love and loads of blessings as always. Namaste.